Hey guys, it's Dr. May. How are you? Well, today I wanted to do a video called Levels of Connection, how we move from distance to closeness. Because one of our goals, if you think about it, is to improve our relationships and to figure out ways that we could get closer to people, especially the people that we want in our life. So this kind of makes it a little bit more concrete to know how we could kind of advance the relationship and what that looks like. So I want to share that with you. Okay, so here we go. I like those little finger people, aren't they cute? All right, so there's basically 10 levels that I'm going to talk about. And it's not in a perfect order, but like we'll be a little bit flexible about the concepts, okay? So the first one is physical presence. So if you're just sitting next to somebody, a stranger on a subway or in a waiting room, that's just physically being present with somebody. On the other hand, if you're in a closer relationship, just being able to sit together in silence without having to talk and fill the space could actually be something that feels a little more intimate. So it actually could depend on who you're with and what the circumstance is. But at a very basic level, just being in proximity to somebody is considered a level one of closeness, okay? Okay, so the next one is when we actually start to open our mouth and talk. So the least intimate thing we could do is just to make small talk. So that's talking about very casual subjects, maybe something like the weather, like just kind of like a cliche, but let's talk about the weather, maybe something you saw on TV. Maybe if it's somebody like a clerk at a store, you're asking them a question about a product or a price. It's just something that's very neutral. Okay, not a big deal. All right, so that's making small talk. And sometimes, it could be a little hard to figure out what to do, but just think of something neutral, okay, especially if it's a social gathering. Okay, so level three is kind of entertainment and humor. So if I'm leading a group and the group is connected enough that they're laughing together, that's actually a sign that the group's doing pretty good. That's a sign that maybe the group is starting to come together. People are relating in a little bit more of a closer way. So it's a sign that maybe you're getting along with the people you're with when you're able to share a laugh. Okay, so it's not necessarily just laughing at something on TV. It's maybe like a laughing amongst each other because of the interactions that are happening. Okay. All right, so level four is talking about something that's actually going on right now. So let's say the people on the left are in a carnival together. So if they're at the carnival and they're able to talk about things going on at the carnival, that's talking about right now. So maybe they're talking about the rides they went on or some games that they played or the popcorn they're eating or something like that, cotton candy. So just talking about something that's happening in the here and now. Other times, this level four is considered, let's say, sharing a subject of interest to one person. So let's say I start talking about a movie that I like without really caring if it's of interest to somebody else. You may not have that in common, but it's just like one person's disclosing their interest. Okay, so sometimes when you meet someone at a party, like this kind of happens, or they could happen other times too. All right, so both of those things, level four. Level five. So now it's getting a little closer. So talking about topics of interest to both people. So let's say you're both interested in a certain sport and you're both talking about that sport. So it's something in common that you're conversing about. Okay. Or if you and I were talking psychology, it'd be something we'd have in common, and this would be a level five. Okay. It's also expressing a concern outside the relationship. So I'm not talking about an issue I have with you. I'm maybe bringing into our conversation an issue I'm having maybe with something else or someone else in my life. So let's say on the right, the old man and the young man are talking. Not sure their father and son or whoever they are, right? So let's say the young man's saying, I'm worried about my job interview, right? So that's a concern he has that has nothing to do with their relationship. It's in his outside life. Or let's say the old man says, I'm concerned about my brother. Maybe his brother's old or not doing well, and he's bringing that concern into the relationship, although it has nothing to do with the two of them. See that? Okay, so that's level five. All right, whoops. Next, whoops, level six. Yeah. Sorry, my screen's not behaving itself. Okay, so this one's expressing vulnerability outside the relationship. So it's expressing something that's maybe a little more personal, that's a little bit more sensitive, not just, an average topic. So let's say one guy is saying, I'm having problems with my girlfriend. I think she cheated on me. So that may not be something you reveal to everybody. It might be a little bit more, like I said, sensitive or vulnerable. So you're bringing that to the table. So like if you're in therapy and you're talking about an issue you're having with someone in your life, that's like a level 6. Okay. All right. So level 7. So this is a little more intense, expressing vulnerability within the relationship. So now we're talking about something that's going on between us. So revealing how much you love somebody could count for that. Revealing an issue you're having with the other person could count with that. Maybe like the man here is saying, sorry, sometimes I worry that I let you down. Ooh, that's something that could be tough too, right? Like let's say the father thinks he let the son down and he's talking about that. Okay, so that takes a little more courage to do. So this is a level 7. All right, level 8. So this goes even beyond words. So this is when you're really present with somebody and you're attuned on a feeling kind of level. There's a felt sense of being with the person, and you could feel like you're resonating with them non-verbally. Like maybe you find yourself facially responding to the person or leaning in when the person's talking or making really good eye contact, that your voice is kind of matching some of the tones that they have just to kind of show that you're in the same mode as they are. All right. So that's kind of what they mean here by paralinguistics. Don't let the big word throw you off. Okay. So next, level 9. All right. So this is mutual attunement on an emotional level. So like, look at that picture. Like you could just tell that both of those people are just in the same moment together emotionally. Like they're just kind of sharing this moment. They're dancing together. Maybe they're like reflecting on stuff together, just feeling each other kind of emotionally, right? So this has to do with like empathic harmony, like just feeling in sync with the person, and resonance, right? Really kind of vibing with the person. All right. And then level 10, da, 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 this is kind of like a little more rare, but super special. So they call this one magic moments. So if you look at the pictures here, like those are some moments that are pretty rare, but incredibly intimate and special. So let's say the woman on the left just came home from being away in her service, whatever branch of the military she's in, and maybe seeing her little girl for the first time in months, right? It's just a totally magic moment being reunited like that. Or let's say a father or a grandfather, hugging his daughter or granddaughter at her wedding, seeing her move on in that phase of her life and just feeling all the feelings that they have for each other together in that transitional moment. Totally a magic moment. Or let's say on the right, let's say you work together with somebody at the Olympics or some big important sporting event and you won together. Oh, wow, it's so awesome, right? So that's a true magic moment. Like when you watch the Olympics and you see how hard those teams work, and then when they win, they're so excited, right? So those are like rare and memorable moments that are beyond words. And it's a true bonding experience. Okay, so those are the 10 levels. And not sure if you could relate to any of those, or if there are levels you want to advance a current relationship by introducing some of those things, or putting some more in place, like maybe some more of the revealing stuff or the connecting through talking about certain kinds of subjects, or just empathically resonating with them in a nonverbal way, right? So that might be something to think about. All right, if it's appropriate, if it feels right. Okay. All right, so that's all for this one, and I'll see you soon. All right, bye, everybody.